You're lucky we put the 5 seconds on.
Companies like Netflix and Apple and Facebook and Amazon, they're in the streaming business.
Right. Money alone doesn't lead to good programming. It is tough. We're competing with companies that are, you know, that could eat us alive.
Hewlett-Packard Enterprise.
Okay. I already took 29 minutes and 59 seconds for future reference. Let me round it out to 30 minutes of video. I just did it before this video. It's now May 5th, 2018 at 9:10 a.m. I can't spend all day just videotaping what the DP doesn't do, or doesn't see, or doesn't want to see, or too superficial to. The guy comes here and says there's no problem and there's no smoke, and there wasn't smoke at this very second that you popped in, but you could have waited 5 minutes. Okay, let me zoom out. And we got this, my printer, my MacBook, and then here's the Bloomberg. Okay, the smell is really bad. Oh boy, I have to eat breakfast. It's just so. Okay, it's 9:20 a.m.
Anyone with information to get in touch with the NYPD's Crime Stoppers hotline at 1-800-577-8477. And finally, a cycling challenge with a purpose will kick off this summer right here in the city. The 4th annual Empire State Ride to End Cancer will roll across the state, including Brooklyn, to raise money for cancer research. The 500-plus mile ride will begin at Wagner College on Staten Island and end at Historic Niagara Falls. Organizers say the ride not only raises money, but also helps create friendships.
When you come and you merge on New York City, nobody knows anybody. And then as you're together for those 7 days, you have a bond with people that is really going to last a lifetime.
The ride kicks off on July 29th, and don't worry, if you can't do the full ride, they also offer a half-day ride and a start line route. For more information, go to EmpireStateRide.com. Kristen, time to dust off those bike shorts and get to training.
Yeah, that's a lot of miles, 500 miles, and it's hilly.
It's hilly
up and down New York.
but it gives you lots of time to make lots of friends, like they said.
I know, it's a great event. I really think it's good. All right, Karina, thanks.
You bet.
Thousands of makeup artists, photographers, vendors, and enthusiasts from all over the world are coming to Chelsea tomorrow and Monday to the largest professional makeup show in the country. When Stephanie Simon introduces us to one girl from Brooklyn who will be there. He combines so many talents, he's made up his own title for himself.
Hold it right in there. My official title is Muographer, the new hybrid of makeup artist / photographer.
Rocky Cosette fell in love with photography in the 7th grade and makeup soon after.
I would see girls in high school and I would say, oh, your eyeliner's crooked. Come here, let me fix that.
That reflex remains. You were nice enough to touch up my lip gloss when I got here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Today, Rocky combines all his passions. He's not only sought after for photo shoots and fashion shows, makeup artists across the city and around the world seek him out to learn how to create unforgettable looks that can get them hired.
So starting to make my shapes.
These makeup artists travel from Eastern Europe and Asia to Brooklyn to learn Rocky's makeup and photography techniques.
In Kazakhstan, we also have a lot of professionals, but in America, it is maybe different styles, maybe something more fashion. I want to do people more beautiful and happy.
I love the eyeshadow. How do you feel about it?
It's definitely something creative, magical.
After starting out on the West Coast as a makeup artist, Rocky moved to New York in 1997. 8 years ago, he launched his own line of vegan makeup brushes, made of synthetic fibers, not animal hair.
They could be as soft as blue squirrel, but have the strength and buoyancy as sable. So, doing all the testing, I decided there's no reason to use animal hair anymore.
The brushes and his makeup line are now favored by professionals. Although he's become a star himself, Rocky is happy to help other artists succeed too.
And I also bask in the success of another. So seeing them grow is what touches my heart.
Rocky Cosette will be at the makeup show Sunday and Monday at the Metropolitan Pavilion in Chelsea. Stephanie Simon, New York 1.
That'll do it for this half hour of New York One News. Stay with us. We'll have the latest on your top stories and your weather on the ones coming up in our next half hour. Attention, this is a medical alert for anyone who lived, worked, or attended school in Lower Manhattan and was exposed to cancer-causing toxins in the aftermath of 9/11. You may not realize the toxic exposure zone includes all of Lower Manhattan below Canal Street. If you spent time in Lower Manhattan below Canal Street between September 11th and May of 2002 and have been diagnosed with cancer or a lung disease, you may be entitled to money from the Federal Victim Compensation Fund. How do you protect yourself and fight for the compensation you deserve? You call Napoli Skolnick, the New York law firm whose partner Paul Napoli was appointed as lead counsel for 9/11 victims by the United States Federal Court. Napoli Skolnick, the law firm that has handled more 9/11 injuries than any other firm and has recoveries of over $1 billion in 9/11 settlements, including more money recovered for cancer victims than any other firm. To make sure you get the compensation you deserve, call Napoli Skolnick. No firm has more experience and know-how. Call today.
Scratch-off games from the New York Lottery and you could be one of over 4 million weekly winners.
In America, the automobile is a symbol of our freedom. That's why Mako is proud to offer expert paint and collision repair services for nearly 50 years. We're locally owned and operated, which means we're here when you need us most. Mako, America's body shop.
Attention investors. National Realty announces its $200 million property portfolio gold mine. It's prime Waterview property at 75% off market value, with over $150 million in equity protection. Prime property in Delray Beach, Florida, New York City, Hoboken, New Jersey, and Philadelphia backs you with 20% returns and 100% of resale cash flows. Paid to investors first. Call 201-210-2727. That's 201-210-2727.
In America, the automobile is a symbol of our freedom. That's why Mako is proud to offer expert paint and collision repair services for nearly 50 years. We're locally owned and operated, which means we're here when you need us most. Mako, America's body shop.
Shaughnessy with a New York 1 Minute. A mother and her son are finally reunited after police say he was abandoned in Manhattan. The police say the mother's ex-boyfriend took the toddler from daycare Thursday without the mother's permission. Police say he left the little boy outside a Harlem building all alone. Changes for passengers flying into Terminal B at LaGuardia. You will no longer need to take a shuttle bus to get your ride using a car service. Yellow cabs will still be available at the same location, and passengers can use a walkway now to get to their rides. New York One has exclusively obtained numbers showing how many people are arrested at homeless shelters in the city. The city stopped disclosing those numbers for nearly 2 years. Is it the end for the Dark Knight? The Mets are designating former All-Star Matt Harvey for assignment after he refused to go to the minors. The team will have a week to either make a trade or release him. And the 144th running of the Kentucky Derby steps off later tonight at Churchill Downs. We will have more on our top stories, but first, a look at the forecast. It is milder today, and we're seeing a mix of sun and clouds. Readings peaking in the 70s. Cool conditions for tomorrow. We're expecting some showers as well. And Monday, it's going to be a cool day with spot showers. Tuesday through Thursday, mostly sunny and warmer. We'll have another weather update coming up in 10 minutes. Police are looking for a gunman who broke into a busy Queens office and stole more than $20,000. This happened yesterday morning around 11:30 in a building on 102nd Avenue and Brisbane Street in Jamaica. The man took out a gun and asked employees where they'd keep the money. They say he made off with $23,000 and 2 of the employees' cell phones. If you have any information, you are being asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-577-8477. A Harlem mother is reunited with her toddler after he was abandoned Thursday morning. Child Services released the boy into his mother's custody yesterday. Family court said the daycare, which released the boy to his mother's ex-boyfriend, is at fault. 1-year-old DJ was found alone in the foyer of a building on 132nd Street near Frederick Douglass Boulevard on Thursday. Sources tell New York One that Antonio Staten, seen in this surveillance video, picked up DJ from daycare that morning. Police say he left the boy in the building and used a table to block the entrance so he couldn't escape. DJ's mother says she was told that Staten used a fake ID to pick up her child and that she's still in shock.
Today, I'm getting my son. They served justice. They found the daycare full, and I'm happy with the outcome. I would tell him I hate him that he's going to get the justice that's coming for him.
Child Services says it is working with police to investigate. Sources tell New York One that Staten and DJ's mother had gotten into an argument earlier in the day. There is mixed reaction to Mayor de Blasio's plan to open safe injection sites around the city. More than 1,400 people have died from drug overdoses in the city last year. The mayor says this plan will save lives by allowing people to use drugs in a safe, supervised setting. But critics say it undermines prevention and treatment efforts and normalizes drug use.
We will see a number of people who would otherwise have died of an overdose be in a setting where they can be saved.
It will give the wrong message about the risk involved in experimenting. That, well, look, you can get needles, you can get the drugs, you can get needles, you can do it in a safe place.
The plan does require state approval. Governor Cuomo says it's a good goal, but there are legal questions involved. If approved, the sites would be financed and run by nonprofit groups, not by the city or taxpayer funds. Governor Cuomo's primary challenger, Cynthia Nixon, releases her 2017 tax return. Nixon and her wife made more than $600,000 last year and paid nearly $240,000 in taxes. Governor Cuomo released his tax returns last month and was critical of Nixon for taking so long.
Candidates need to begin by being transparent. The releasing of tax information is vital because then you understand how the person lives, how the person finances their lifestyle.
Hours after Nixon made her return available, the Cuomo-controlled Democratic State Committee proposed requiring candidates to disclose 10 years' worth of tax returns. Nixon has released just 1 year so far. Passengers arriving at LaGuardia Airport's Terminal B will no longer need to take a shuttle bus to get a car service. The airport moved the pickup location for all car services to the second level of the new terminal parking garage. Starting today, passengers can get to their rides by taking a short walkway. Yellow cabs will still pick up passengers in the arrivals part of the terminal. That replaces shuttle bus to the garage, which was used for 13 months during all the construction.
It was also, a mental inconvenience. You get back from your trip, you want to find your car, and then you got to get on another shuttle bus. And again, we couldn't be more grateful for the convenience for the patience that our passengers have shown during this time, and we're happy to make that a little bit easier today.
The garage has more than 50 loading spaces for passengers to meet their drivers and more than 200 spaces for car services. A volcano in Hawaii continues to erupt, sending hazardous gas into the air and forcing thousands to flee. A magnitude 6.9 earthquake struck yesterday. It is the largest quake the state has seen since 1975. The Kilauea volcano started erupting Thursday when a crack in the ground caused lava to shoot up. The Hawaii Volcanoes National Park officially closed after the earthquake triggered several rock slides. The lava has flowed into a number of residential areas and has burned 2 homes so far. The Trump administration is ending temporary protected status for 57,000 Hondurans residing in the United States. Hondurans protected by TPS have been allowed to work and live in the U.S. since 1999 after a hurricane ravaged their country the year before. Hondurans now have until January of 2020 to return to their home country or seek a different immigration status.
This is just another assault on our immigrant communities. It will be devastating for New York, just as it is devastating for the people whose temporary protected status is ending.
Under the protection, citizens of countries that experience natural disasters or violence are allowed to stay and work in the United States until the countries are ready to reabsorb the population. The Trump administration says conditions in Honduras have improved. Advocates argue that it still hasn't fully recovered from the hurricane and now experiences widespread violence. The person who inspired the DREAM Act has been a New Yorker for several years, and it was her gift for playing the piano that fueled a dream she hoped would play out for millions of others. Vivian Lee introduces us.
Hard to believe it, but 35-year-old Teresa Lee, playing the piano here at Manhattan School of Music, is largely self-taught.
Being poor, music education is like the last thing that I thought would happen.
Not only poor, undocumented. Her parents escaped the aftermath of the Korean War by emigrating to South America, where she was born. Then in Chicago, when she was 7, her father revealed the family secret.
If anyone found out about this, my parents would be sent to South Korea, myself to Brazil, my little brother who was born in Chicago to a foster care somewhere.
She kept her head down but earned a coveted scholarship to the Merit School of Music in Chicago. And then art director Ann Monaco asked her to fill out some college applications.
She immediately noticed that my social security number box was empty and that also I was born in Brazil.